All right. I did it. Chris, I'm sorry. The execution wasn't quite there. Welcome, everybody. I'm doing my friends wave. Sorry, we're really discombobulated.
We do the Lego hands.
The Lego hands. I do friends version.
All right.
We got a few missing folks tonight. Unfortunately, Chris is not available, and he, for some terrible reason, gave me the producer powers, which I think we're going to go Ice Planet in the background. Hold on. Let's see if that works. Yeah, Ice Planet. We're going to mess everything up tonight. Chris, you're going to regret this. Hold on a second. Let me get out of this so I can see the comments. Yeah, we got, hey, Will, it was so nice meeting you. Thank you for my pink samurai swords. Every girl needs a pink samurai sword. And we have battery-powered bricks. And, of course, Julian, who I forgot to in with my producer powers.
Let me in.
We also have Skip, who I saw a lot at Brick Fair. This is what happens. Brickworld. But unfortunately, as I was telling him, I spent a lot of time building garbage piles and putting together monorail pieces. There's a lot of time over in that 20 by 20 area. And I guess we have Matt, but we're World?
Yeah, World.
Okay.
I don't know if I spelled that wrong, but
yeah, I'm an engineer. Don't ask me that. I get yelled at about my spelling.
I get yelled at about my smelling.
No,
I think that's a different podcast. I think that's a different podcast.
Yes. So I figure Chris is usually here to ask all the great questions and say all the cool stuff. So I'm gonna hop to Skip. So let me see if I can figure out how.
You're gonna skip the hop or hop to skip?
Wait a minute.
So tell me what's going on. I know you were at Brickworld, so nope.
That doesn't look like me.
There we go.
That looks like me.
There we go. So give us the lowdown. What's been going on?
Well, most of us here just got back from Brickworld this week. Had an awesome time. This is my second time going. First time exhibiting. Last year it was kind of a last minute decision, so I just kind of flew out and attended and just kind of enjoyed things. This year I actually had builds there, so that was a lot of fun. We were in a crappy spot though. We were kind of Charm City Lug, which is who I was there with. We were stuck back in the corner, and it wasn't fun.
They put baby in a
do
corner.
What you do. Yeah, they put baby in the corner. So it kind of stunk being stuck back there. But hey, I had a great time. Met a lot of people, and now gearing up for Brick Fair, Virginia, in about less than a month and a half. So a little time to breathe and catch up on a few things, and then it's off to another big festival.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Let me exit the solo and hopefully not boot you from the screen. Again, Matt's the Luddite, and I'm like the Luddite, like just slightly above him. So let's see. Yay! I didn't boot anyone.
Oh, it worked. Yay!
All right.
Let me ask a follow-up for Skip. So I met Skip when I went to Brick Fair, Virginia, about, I think it was 2 years ago. It was my first post-COVID.
Maybe. No, it would have been last year, because also last year was my first year exhibiting at Brick Fair.
Okay. So
what happened last year?
All right. So how would you compare your Virginia experience to Chicago? Like, is it the same? What was your feel?
Like specifically per festival, or just kind of in general? Like,
yeah, just in general.
Okay, so first off, I think it's hilarious how the two festivals fight over which one's the bigger one. I kind of find that funny. To tell a funny little story, the one morning I was getting into the elevator, and of course, a bunch of guys are in there, and I forget what the comment I made. Somebody's made the comment about this is the largest brick thing, and I said, well, Brick Fair, Virginia is pretty darn big as well. And the other guys, no, this is the largest one. And I'm like, well, I got to defend the East Coast. And it happened to be, I don't know the guy's name, but whoever founded Brickworld is right there in the elevator with me. So I had a little moment of shame there of like, no offense, dude. So, from that perspective, I think those two festivals are going to fight back and forth over who's the biggest. But there's definitely a different vibe between them. I find that now that I've been to both as an attendee, Brickworld is a lot more focused on, there's a lot more of those sessions. There's a lot more, just meetings and things going on. It's also nice because the hotel is right there. So you get so many people that are right there, and it makes all the social stuff easier. With Brick Fair, while there are AFOL activities after hours, there's definitely not as many. And because there's no central hotel, there's the Dulles Convention Center has nothing there other than food joints, and it's not connected.
There is a Holiday Inn in the parking lot.
Well, there are a couple of hotels, but still you got to walk over to them, and not everybody stays there. So I think the kind of socialization aspect is very different on that. And I think that's really reflected in the people who lead the festivals. I mean, if you know Mark versus Todd and just the complete difference in how they do stuff. Seriously, I mean, if you know Todd Webb, who runs Brick Fair, and Mark Larson, who runs Brickworld, you know what I'm talking about. These guys couldn't be more different than anything else when it comes to it. Overall, I think from an attendee standpoint and the builds and the friendships and everything else, it's on par. I've had a fantastic time going to these conventions and meeting people and socializing with builders. There. Is that a long-winded answer to your question?
You know what Todd once told me years ago, and I've talked to Todd just a few times. He's always such a cool dude too. But what he told me, like, what do you like Brickworld? Or somebody asked him, and I was listening, and he's like, listen, I get to go to Brickworld, and I don't have to put on a show. I get to relax and hang out with my friends. So he enjoys it when he does come. I don't think he was there, but
no, I don't think he's been for a while. He's probably busy getting ready for everything else. But yeah, their styles couldn't be more different. Todd is just very laid back and chill, and not as focused on awards, and he doesn't want to get up in front of the group and speak to a PowerPoint presentation for 45 minutes. So yeah.
How about we float on over to Julian? I know it's been a while since I've seen you, I think, or we've had a bit of a hiatus because we've had stuff come up. Life's happened. Summer, people are on vacation. So hold on, Julian. I don't want to boot you. I'm trying. Here we go. Yay!
He's still with us.
Woo! Woo!
Now, don't fake us out by pretending to talk.
No, I wasn't there.
All right. Julian, before you start, I just want you to know that I tried to do a tribute to you. The morning of the public, I went out and I wooed, and I tried to get a bunch of people to woo with me. So you were missed. You were missed. Yes.
Oh, I missed it. I really wanted to go. I have this one gave me a lot of FOMO. I really wanted to check this one out. I mean, it could be that there was like 8 million AFOLs there. That might, I like the people. What have I been up to? I'm cleaning the Lego room. I'm moving, staying in this house. I'm moving to the far end of the house, and all my stuff's going in there. I don't know when the next lug meeting is. I'm planning on being there. And then I'm going to Tampa for are we just calling it BrickCon?
Tampa BrickCon, I think.
Okay. And I don't know if anybody else in the lug is going, but I'm going. And I'm bringing jams with me, or vice versa. So that's what I've been up to right now. I haven't done any real work other than the Wednesday night build show. But other than that, I'm surviving.
That's good.
And I missed you guys, and I really, I want to put something into Cyber City next time I can.
Well, okay. Well, I'll zoom out on you. Hold me. Okay. I don't want to break it. I don't want to break it.
You did it. You did it right with me. You can do it again.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, I got one more thing. You ain't got to put me on the. You ain't got to put me on
Do
the big
it.
screen. I got one more thing. Skip, I love your beard.
It's
I know. I
epic.
love it too.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Or as I like to say, I grew it myself. And I wore
Matt,
my
you want to
bearded
go?
shirt to go, and I wore my Bearded Builders Guild shirt to go along with tonight.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm feeling very chilly here right now.
Well,
So
depending
for
on how
anyone
we
who
work around the box, we got a progression. I think Julian's is the longest, and mine's next, and then Matt's kind of scruffy, and then you've got nothing. So.
I'm the medium bear because on the whiteness scale, I think Skip's got me beat. So
Yeah.
I'm between.
It's just the lighting. It's really not that gray.
Mine's the shortest. So I guess for the length, I come in on the short end. But
What are we saying? Size matters, right? No.
No, we're not gonna do that.
Hold on. Let me do some.
There's never innuendo jokes on this show, but
where's the PG-13 banner? I'm scrolling. I'm trying to find it. There's too many banners.
Yes, we didn't tell Skip the rules, but the rules are no politics, no swearing, keep it PG-13 because we don't want to get kicked off of YouTube, all that jazz, that kind of stuff. But
I think
so far
rules so far. I haven't used any swear words.
Yeah, we've done better. There are shows where it goes off the rails and not all the rules are followed. But anyway, so I just want to say
here we'll go on to you. Okay, let me not drop you. There we go.
All right. The last year, people went around and left a few tokens, and I when I say few, I don't mean to like talk it down, but I would say the number of attendees who were handing out tokens appeared to me to quadruple. There just were a lot more tokens in general. I personally got way more tokens than last year. And there's a couple that I thought were just gorgeous. So the tokens that were given out range from things like printed tiles. So like the Bearded Builders handed out a token with their logo. I'm pretty sure that this is Mr. Sandlin who did a whole thing, or maybe it's not, but and there's like this little tiny micro bill with a baby head, which I thought was hilarious.
I didn't see that one. That's cute.
And I don't know who this is, but somebody who likes pink wheel caps.
I
don't know anybody who does that.
Around.
And then Mr. Moto handed out this one, which is like, here, let me tip it up. It's like a mechanical cat kind of thing. Somebody
he was definitely on a cat
went non-Lego and taped a minifig to a Hot Wheels. I saw a number of these out and about. So
that's cool.
The tradition at Brickworld is that the previous year's overall like career achievement champion is supposed to leave trophies, and I was honored to get one last year, and I got one this year. So if you got the waterfall, that was from the previous year's career achievement award winner.
Hey Matt, can you clarify something about that? Can you clarify something about that? Because I was hearing conflicting information about who is supposed to get that. Some people said everyone is supposed to get them, and others said no. But a lot of people got them, and some people got multiple, and some people got none. Do you know anything more about that?
I'm going to plead ignorance, but it's possible maybe everybody did. I will say that last year,
there were definitely some people who didn't get them.
I got two of them because I had one display on the Gables table, which got a token from the champion, and then my display at the Peach Log table also got one. So it's possible that the previous champion is either extremely generous, or I don't know. I don't claim to.
That's a fair answer. I didn't know if you had any more insight.
This was probably one of my favorites, and it's by I believe this is Jen from Lego Masters Season 2, and she made a micro AT-AT, which is adorable. And when I looked at this, I thought, I wanted to have I would eventually would like to have a printed tile for myself, but I'm like, this is cute, and you could build it with table scraps. I mean, you don't even, other than you need like the one piece.
You could put him in. Moto in the green room.
Okay, you got you could put you could do all kinds of color arrangements for something. Here he is.
Well, there he is, Mr. Moto himself. No cat mask.
He left one of the impossible brick that was there, and then, but this may be my favorite of the tokens, which is there was two different Christmas trees.
I can't believe who did that. That was nuts.
I'm jelly.
Really,
I'm very jelly.
It's just gorgeous, and it's honestly,
it's by far the most complicated one that I saw.
It's a lot of brick, but it looked absolutely gorgeous. And then this one also, like if you're ever thinking that you want to do a token,
okay. Who is that? Because we're trying to figure out who this is.
So I was at my table when they dropped it off. It's the Bricks and Minifig store owners.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah, or corporate. I can't remember.
That would have been great because
yeah. Oh, and to answer your question, yeah. So those the former year's Chicago Master token has a special name, which I can't recall. But no, it is not for every person who attends. It's only dropped as a token of appreciation. But the idea is they make an overwhelming number of them. So there's a large quantity, but it's not for every attendee. It's not going to be at every table. And also, if you spin it on the side, did you notice the waterfall moves just like the one last year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't even try that. Oh, you're right. Look at that.
Take me off the screen.
Yeah,
so
twirl it.
Show the things.
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I'm terrible. All right.
Twirl it.
Hold on. There we go. There we go. Next time, Matt, you're doing this.
I got one.
Okay. That's I was like, oh, look, they put a Technic pin so you could attach it to something else. Oops.
No, it actually twirls.
That's really cool. All right.
Yeah, it tumbles. And Entertainingly Lame wants to know. So I'll attempt this, but anybody could probably answer it. Yeah, they're called tokens or tokens of appreciation or little love. I've heard them called. It's just if you're going to Brickworld and you want to have tokens gift the builds or builders that you feel are special, then you will drop it at the corner of the table, usually by the mouth card, and it can be any reason that's meaningful to the person giving it away. There's no logic to it. It's something that people do. Yeah, I had 10 of the bots, and then just to entice somebody's here.
You better stop.
Number 10. Number 10 goes to someone on the panel.
Okay, so I love the way you wrap those. I saw the way you wrap brick hives. It's almost like origami.
It is origami. I did origami, and each one of these takes about 30 minutes to wrap and get it down, but it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Yeah. So yeah, number 10. We'll get in the mail as soon as I can.
Oh, you suck. I love you.
Let's make him blush. Let's make him blush.
Oh,
I got this one in Alabama.
He looks as pink as that beard behind him. Or that bucket behind him. I said, you're as pink as that bucket behind you.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
It can't possibly be the beer. Yeah, I got this one. I got this one in Atlanta from somebody he's in Florida now, but he's from Chicago. He apparently liked the Pink Castle.
Yeah.
Apparently, Gugik Award is the name of the one. Yeah, from the previous master.
Yeah, and some people will name all tokens Gugiks if they're really old school. I just see the Gugik as from the former master from the prior year.
All right, I'm gonna go be me and
then there's somebody who stuck a sticker, but they used the little single studs to hold it up, so they made a stand for it. So,
are you familiar with that builder?
I am not. No, it just says Greg. Greg is.
Greg is part of Tricky Lug. He would have been tables behind me, or anti-entrance wise.
Okay.
Do Hashima direction from the front.
Yeah, really quick. Hold on. Let me try not to drop myself. I got a baby from Orphan Lug, and I'm in love.
Whoa.
It is
That's
adorable.
cool.
Adorable. And it's teal, and Natalie wants to steal it, and it is adorable. And I also got a castle from Martin.
Way to
Nice.
go. Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I saw some of those around.
And then the very last one, I got a Woody head on a stick.
Hey, all
I'm
right.
pretty sure it's from Rebel Lug.
Yeah, almost.
Do they need a mock mom? If they need a mock mom, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hadn't seen the Toy Story one. That's cool.
That
Well,
was
no,
the
they're obsessed with Woody. They're upset. There's a meme over shirtless Woody, and I guess because half of New Hashima was Rebel Lug, they liked my mocks, so they put a Woody head on a stick in between my two mocks, and so I told them. I just put it on Instagram. I'm like, I'm keeping this, yo. It's expensive.
And if you want to go real simple, here's someone who just went around and left snakes. There was somebody who left a carrot with the green part attached. And at first I thought, was that an accident? Did somebody just happen to drop a snake? But then I saw snakes by other people's builds. I was like, okay, it's a
Does
token.
anybody know who that is?
I think I've seen that before. I think I've seen that at festivals before. So it must be somebody
don't
who's
know.
been to Brick Fair and Brick World.
So one of my suggestions is that that they have a token registration component instead of a mock card component. Like in the database, they could put a token in the DB so that you would have the photo and the person. So like the more, I can't know everyone, obviously.
No.
It's impossible.
you can too. It's a difficult, but you can do it.
Not 1,500. Yeah, like that one, I don't know where that came from. I would love a registration component so that
I have a black
but
one that's
isn't that-
similar to that. I don't know.
Isn't that part of the mystique, though, of not knowing who they come from? I mean,
well, the
I understand.
the elusive white brick I think should remain private because that's like lore at this
this
point.
one?
Apparently, it might be Caleb.
Holy garbage, you got one?
I did.
Yeah.
What was inside
Can I
it?
brag now?
Show
Yeah,
us what's in it. We need to
chance to
know
brag.
what's in it.
Yeah.
It's on the top. Okay, so let me
Oh
show a few of
my
my other
God.
ones that I liked, and then I'll tell you that story. So I've got a bunch of them as well, but this is one of my favorite from Dana, who built a little spaceship, little space launcher type thing. I thought that was really cute. I also got one of the little ats. And then another one I thought was the little mini kit, but they put a squirrel on top of it, which is cute. I won't bore you with all the other small ones that are here. I've got a bunch here. So, Sunday I come in and this is sitting by my art museum, my art museum build. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of big for a token. Okay. I just had it sitting there. And one of my lug members comes in and goes, "You got a white brick." I'm like, okay. He's like, "That's really special." I'm like, okay. And he's like, "Well, open it up." Now, what I didn't do is that I didn't I didn't realize you could just pull the top. So I'm literally like breaking the whole thing open. I'm like, okay, well, let me open it. I'm doing this to it. And so, I open it up and inside is the police car from the Blues Brothers.
Nice.
So
Tonight's also
this is
ladies'
what was
night.
inside it. So that was what was inside of it. I'm guessing since the person probably doesn't know me from Adam, that it's just, because this took place in Chicago. So then my fellow lug member goes and starts to explain the whole deal with this. And I was like, oh, wow. And then Dana, who's also in Peach Lug, and, and Dave Sheffick, who runs Brick Nerd, also, he messages me because I posted something on Facebook, and he messages me, I think when did he message me? At some point, he goes, "You got a white brick?" I'm like, "Yeah, apparently it's a big deal." So,
It's a big deal.
It's a significantly huge deal. I can't tell you how important that is.
It's like the rarest thing you could get.
Well, I know that now. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I got a white, now my reaction's a little different. But, once it was explained to me what the deal was, I was like, oh, This is pretty damn cool. All right.
Yeah, and the model that's tucked inside is built on site during Brickworld.
Yes.
And whomever it is,
Dave Sheffick.
Yeah, whomever it is a.
Yeah, Dave forwarded me the Bricklink article that was the Brick Nerd article that was all about it. So I, of course, read it. And then, of course, I'm like, oh my God, this is wow.
Oh, yeah, it makes sense because of their episode where they had to deal with all the snakes. That's. I thought it might be them, but I couldn't be sure.
The new Hashima leads, so the managers of each of the different quadrants all had white bricks for them, and it all had the same handwritten note in it, and it said, when building New Hashima, I think the journey really was about building all the friendships along the way, and it was adorable. It was adorable.
So they also got these, or?
Yes, but it only had a note. It did not have a mock. It just had the note about
interesting.
When you were really building.
Well, that narrows it down. That narrows it down to 60 people. So it obviously came from inside the group. I have a feeling. They're coming. Who knows? Or it's a triumvirate. I think there's more than one.
We need to get some FBI handwriting analysis on
that
this.
one. Yeah, I want the handwriting. I'm gonna find this out.
My most prized possession though is I got a Simon mock.
Oh my!
Oh damn, dude!
That is awesome.
And you know who else got a Simon Lumock? Aubrey.
Did she?
Good.
Friendshiptober. Aubrey got a Simon Lou Friendshiptober mock with an original Friendshiptober brick.
Yeah, Friendshiptober. Yeah, Timber.
I keep saying Tober because my birthday. Friendshiptober. She got the official Shiptember brick from like the first one that he had saved. Yeah, she was just beside herself. So I've already started thinking about what I'm building. So you all better think about what you're building.
Skip, do you know about Friendship Timber? So Shiptember has been a long running tradition of building a ship in 30 days. But hey, there he is, Jeff B.
Sorry. And start that again. It's a long running tradition. What?
It's a long running tradition in the space builder community of building one spaceship in a 30-day span, in a month. So that's kind of like a contest you can do at home, and then people just share pictures of what they build. And so Aubrey and Martin pioneered doing it with a Friends twist. So Friends colors and, attributes and that kind of stuff. And so they came up with the idea of doing Friendship Timber. Was it 2 years ago? I think we've had two now, or have we just had one?
It's two, I believe. Okay. Yeah, and Friendship Timber, like Ship Timber, you're supposed to do 100 stud length on the spaceship, right? That's what a ship is. Significantly huge investment in parts. Friendship Timber does not have that constraint, and it also doesn't have to be a spaceship. There are pirate ships, so like sailing ships, spaceships, and I can't remember. There was more there. As long as it was ship related or adjacent, it's cool they allowed it in.
Okay, so do both of these happen during September, and you have to pick one?
Yes, and I keep calling it October because I like October.
Okay.
But it's September, and you have to do it technically within the month of September. But I've been told that if you do it within 30 days near the month of September, you're kind of allowed in, but you can't expand among 30 days. So I already have my theme. My theme, I know not everyone watches The Expanse. I'm going to be the friendly expanse, or the friends expanse. There's going to be, unfortunately, some mini dolls being spaced out of an airlock. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Expelled like the alien queen.
Yes. Hey, I'm going to go over to Jeff. I'm glad that are you home?
You could make the Heart Wake Explorer.
I was actually going to make the Razor Heart.
There you go.
Instead of the Razorback, which was the racing skiff. I'm going to make the Razor Heart.
This is, for those who are not regular watchers, I think this is the first time we've ever seen Jeff VW not at his Lego room table. So this is, we're seeing other regions of his house, I presume, or maybe someone else's house, but I don't know.
Hold on, Jeff. Let's see how you're doing. Did you make it home to Canada?
Yes, I did. Sorry, I'm on webcam / mic off my computer, so it's probably not the best connection or best quality.
You sound good.
I am at home. This is my living room. I am currently parting out like 7 different sets into my store inventory. Janie's here. Janie Red Brick, for anybody who knows her, she's here in the background.
Hello.
My
And
very distant cousin.
yes, Matthew's very distant cousin. Yes.
We have this,
we're basically just partying stuff out, some stuff that she's brought partying into my store, some stuff that I've bought.
Not out. Out.
Oot.
Out.
Oot.
Out.
Oot.
Out.
Really?
Are we going to talk about this?
This is my living room. So yeah, I wasn't going to talk much because we're making noise, but I realized what time it was and thought at least I'd come and say hi. So hi.
Hi, and hi, Jane. We should meet someday.
I'm glad I unzoomed out and I didn't kick you out. So I'm
good.
trying here.
You haven't yet, so don't jinx it. You
I won't
haven't yet,
jinx
so
it.
don't jinx it. You're doing a wonderful job. Now
do
that'll
good.
probably jinx it though.
I want to take just a moment here and reference Dave, a Brick Nerd, and I slaughter his name, so I'll just going to call him Dave, a Brick Nerd.
Is it more or less worse than my last name?
It looks easier, but it's harder to pronounce.
Yeah.
Sheffic.
I thought it was just Sheffic.
Sheffic. See, that's why I just say Dave, a Brick Nerd. But for those of you who follow him or read Brick Nerd online, we are all very thankful that Dave made it home uninjured, but we can't say the same for his car or his mock. So he shared a photo. He hit a deer near Howe, Indiana, which is where one of my cousins lived. I know exactly where it is. There's a lot of deer. There's not a lot of people. He hit a deer, and then apparently a semi-tractor trailer hit his car, and the entire passenger side was destroyed. And the front passenger side was absolutely crushed. The car was clearly totaled. He's shared, if you're Facebook friends or Instagram friends with him, he shared a few pictures. So
Brick Bunny's TV has an update.
And he was missing one corner of his glasses. And if you're a glasses wearer, like, a bunch of us are on this panel, that's a close call, right? I mean, it takes a certain amount of force to make your glasses come off. And unfortunately for his Lego, he had built a 3D version of the Brick Nerd logo, and he shared a picture, and it looked like somebody had just dumped a random pile of red and white bricks out. So that the vehicle was hit with some force. So we just want to say we're very thankful that he is healthy.
There's total and there's NASCAR total. That thing was NASCAR total.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very lucky to be alive, and so thank whatever deity you do or do not worship that he didn't that he wasn't worse.
Yeah, losing Carrie Wu was bad enough. Losing another person on the way out would have just piled on the sadness.
I can't remember, and his name's at the top of my head, Carrie Wu's partner on the Grandpappies.
Yeah, I can't either.
He actually got in an accident before Brick Fair or Atlanta BrickCon because his poor mock, his huge Mustafar mock it was like in two chunks, and he was rolling with it, but man, that's no fun, and that's got to rattle you.
Oh, his name's Patrick, Brittany said.
Oh, that's
Patrick,
right.
I'm
Good
sorry.
one. Yeah,
I'm
someone knew
sorry.
it.
I could barely. I met so many people.
I understand. I was sitting here scratching my head too.
By the way, I'm getting my Lego Masters token revoked for not remembering a Lego Masters name. So
you're gonna take your badge back.
Yeah,
they're gonna take your badge back now.
Fox is gonna bust through that door with a SWAT team right now. Take me away.
I will say, and
it's gonna be like the Spanish Inquisition. You don't expect them.
Gonna get Brad Pitt from Fight Club. Is that what's happening?
Sorry, Pink Wheels. What were we saying?
I was gonna say I got some cool bricks.
Nice.
And don't ask about the top one. I blame Simon Liu on that. But
burn that top one. Burn it.
So I will describe that one. So there was
that stays in Chicago, Matt. That stays in Chicago.
All right,
well,
so
I'll provide distraction. So Pink Wheels, did you get a new Hashima shirt? One of the full blown.
Yeah, you could order them. Mine said Pink Wheels. I'm trying to see if I can order my daughter one because technically she built 5 minifigs. But yeah, you could order them. We just had I'm trying to remember, Simon contacted somebody, and you have to remember on New Hashima, we say 60 some builders on site, and we say 10 additional builders that send stuff. But we had brick animators and brick renderers making the
Yeah.
commercials. We
Yeah.
had brick stuff that was supplying a lot of those screens. Eclipse Graphics came in and made a lot of custom decals and prints. And then we had just like regular people in there critiquing, well-known builders critiquing our builds. So if you want to talk about collaboration, it was over 100 people collaborating. But anybody who was there, I think it was 3 months ago, could sign up for a jersey, and Stefan brought them. And your jersey number was the part of the city you were in. So
I just wanted to say that jersey needs to be framed. You need to get that in a box and up on the wall, because it's
awesome.
I would have a hard time finding another thing that would have so many different lugs and symbol, like cooperative. They're next level shirts.
Which one? There we go.
Especially if you get the backs of them, you get the list of like every lug.
Yeah, we had Windy City Lug, we had Bro Lug, we had Peach Lug, we had Gay Falls. I think we had one of the Maryland lugs. I think it was Charm City Lug.
Charm City. It was my lug.
Yeah, we had Charm City Lug. We had
my lug on the project.
If you were in a lug, and what's really cool, Eclipse Graphics. Hold on, I'll be that person and I'll zoom in on myself. They made these for everyone of the team. So I put my face.
I didn't see that.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you got your inner city, and then it had the front just for regular.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, that was really nice swag that Eclipse Graphics had made for the team. But I think a lot of people, hold on, let me solo me. A lot of people are going back because they're reordering the jersey, and they're ordering doubles. I know Stefan wants to have one where you can see the front and the back and put it on the wall, just like you said, Moto, because it's just so cool. And then shout out to Daniel at Atlanta BrickCon. I don't know if Atlanta Brick Co. He had brought a ton of minifigs, and then him and I just sat around, I want to say Friday night, and spent like 2 hours building the garbage piles you saw in the mark, like the little water garbage piles and the water plants. He wasn't officially part of the collab, and he spent that time doing that. So I told him,
take a look at those jerseys. That was next level.
Yeah, everyone's handle was on the back.
I want to say that, first off, that build was literally the most incredible thing I've ever seen. It just stunning. And last night I told you guys, yeah. Well, there's another point I want to make about this. I literally sat down because, being an exhibitor, I just didn't have the time to really look, spend the time over there like I kind of wanted to. So I literally sat down last night and watched that entire 2.5 hour video from Beyond the Brick to really get a sense of what's there. So there's that point. But the other point I kind of want to make here that I think is going to be interesting is how much that build that all of us saw is going to affect us as we go back to our lugs and talk about it and influence the things that are going to be built in the future. So for instance, even before we went to Chicago, my lug, our special project support for next year is Cyberpunk. We selected that even before, 2 of our team members were on that, but we'd already selected Cyberpunk as what we're doing. And now the interesting thing on Discord since we got back is, yeah, we're still going to do this, but we want to do it in a way that's different than New Hashima. We don't want, we don't want to end up copying them. So there's a lot of discussion going on now about how can we continue with this concept because we like it, but how do we do it so that it doesn't look like we're just copying them? So I think this is going to be very interesting for all lugs that, or anyone that is a cyberpunk builder to go, okay, this is great, but how do we, or either build something that hope they can add to it later.
No, I directly am changing the entire direction of my entire next year because of what I saw. And by that, I mean, I have a build. I've wanted to do it. The thought of dedicating an entire year, I call it a big year. It's like a birding term. But investing everything for 1 year straight as a grind was daunting until I heard and was inspired by the fact that this was one of those types of builds. It wasn't, it's not a con crunch type of thing, right? It is a highly complicated, devoted effort, conceivable effort for an entire year to put something like that together. So I'm taking that away of, knocking out a mock every, 2 months or something and having a nice table is one thing, but sitting down and saying, I really want to make some sort of flagship statement about myself and push through it for an entire year is really daunting. Right, until you see it achieved, until you see it done, and someone else has been through that to part the waters.
I did half of that. I did half a year to build my mosaic, and one of the things I told people is that when I placed the last section on my living room floor in May, I was both very happy but also sad because it was just a part of my life. Like every night, I just worked on it a little bit, and it was just part of my routine for half a year. And when it came to an end, it was like, what? Like now what am I doing? Because you're gonna experience that if you do it for a year.
Maybe if it doesn't kill me, right?
Well,
we'll see.
Hold on. Let me see if I can do this and share. There's an official. I don't think it's gonna let me. There is official video share screen. Yeah, I'm a Luddite. I don't have that. Okay, don't show these tips again. Open system preferences.
So while she's exploring, I'll just say that
yes, keep exploring.
Not only was the build itself overwhelming to look at, I stood there and walked around it every day. I was in the hall, and yet I know that there are hundreds of things I didn't even notice. I didn't
notice half the stuff that people built because there's so many people and there's just so many things.
And it would be fun. It may be a future Brick Nerd article, have somebody walk through and talk about some Easter eggs. I'm sure there were all kinds of Easter eggs.
Well, if you guys didn't know this, I was with Crystal and Amy DD during World of Lights, and someone had placed them into the mock because of their Cyberpunk City and Lego Masters. And they were, they were about to cry. They didn't break, but it got them really good when they saw it.
Oh,
dude, I was so tired when I did this. But this was Friday at midnight.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'll keep scrolling. Tell me when you want me to stop.
You
I
guys
gotta run, kids.
Oh, okay. Bye, Mr. Smith.
Bye, gang.
the other thing that
We love you.
huge tip of the hat, but I was afraid that it would go all night, Friday night, to get ready for Saturday morning, and they were done at midnight. I was
11:58, Matthew. 11:58.
I was frankly stunned that it was all on the table at midnight the night before.
So was it worked in shifts? Because to me, it never really ended. It just kept going as far as the setup.
So I'll give you a little behind the scenes. So we had 3 cities. Let me try to find the picture. Really can't. Come on, there is no good picture, guys. What do you guys? Okay. So this right here, this is the inner city. It's a triangle. And then we had 3 other areas splitting. Oh, here we go. So this is the inner city. And so everyone was supposed to be there. If you were in the inner city, you need to be there at 1:00 on Wednesday. That was just, it was a very nice ask / demand. So we were there, and you could see where all the holes were for all the electronics. Stefan had built all this infrastructure. So you see all of the tiling, all of the roadways, and this table he completely built. On top of the fact that a third of the mock over here is his. So if you were there, if you were in that part of the layout, you had to be there on Wednesday, or you had to be there. I mean, you need to be there. So that's how it started. And they had some train layout over here, so you need to be there. I think that's Michael.
Dear God.
I can't. It's hard. It's all. So then they had the 2 areas. I believe this was this was the docks, so they could start assembling them separately and push them closer. We have tables. These are the lug tables from Tennessee Valley lug, but their legs are shortened. And actually, that was my husband's major contribution to the build. Is he built all of these square tables because the weight, if you were at Atlanta BrickCon, the weight of just Stefan's city was deflecting the plastic table. So these two areas, the docks and the slums, were being set up separately, and then the inner city came in, and since we were early, we got our stuff in, and this was about 11:30 at night on Wednesday. And you can see behind me some of the other parts of the inner city, and Mason's inner city was coming in. Poor Mason, the guy had to drive 13 hours straight from Alabama, but he was there by, I think it was like 7 or 8 o'clock at night on Wednesday. So you can hear it. See, this is the old city or the slums. So they see how there's a little bit of gap, and they pushed it in, and then they put the seawall up so that at least this could be done separately. So yeah, it was just, if you were on the bottom, you better get there early and on time. And you just kept working through it, and pretty much people would go in shifts and start putting their stuff on. Let me see if there's a picture of, I can't remember his name. Young guy, he built this huge tower, and it's very scary. I was not there when he put it on, but I know they have a video of it. It's pretty scary.
Well, I met I call him German Simon because I don't know what else to call him. But
oh yeah, you're right. It was German Simon. Yes.
So
Yeah,
German
he was in the
Simon's
video.
this
He was in the
quiet,
video.
lanky-
in the interview.
Yeah, as a lanky, skinny guy who just, he's like a T800 man. He was unstoppable, said nothing.
That's
Just
him.
yeah, that guy just grinds. That guy's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, his build was amazing. I mean,
Ooh.
like Technic, I think these are Technic parts from like, what is it, the Land Rover or something. I mean, he made it look beautiful. I mean, I told Blake Foster also he made trains look sexy. So yeah, and this thing, like, I don't know how it didn't fall down, but it was wobbling, and there was a video of it, but it's not on here of him putting it on. Let me make sure.
If you went to see it at Festival of Lights Saturday at 10, it was impossible to get a video of it because the whole thing was ringed by all of us. Everybody was clustered.
Yeah, I got a clean TikTok video because I showed up in the hall 7:30, and then there was 5-6 of us in the entire hall, just maybe 10 people. But yeah,
my comment on
there's my Woody. There's my Woody. It's my Woody now. Thanks, Rebel Love.
There you go.
I have to say one thing that made me giggle during the World of Lights is that I looked at other stuff and then got over to New Hashima, and they had blocked off, so they had an area blocked off for the builders to sit, and it was almost like a cult. Like y'all were sitting there just staring up at your build. I was just waiting for you to be, oh.
Yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah, like
new
they did in
Hashima
Avatar.
Mama.
They all just hold hands and go around
Yeah.
Awa and just
You know what they should have done? They should have done that scene from Close Encounters where they're like doo doo doo, and they're all like all the.
That could be the next iteration.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, it just looked like a city skyline, like if you were in a movie and they were doing a flyover. I mean, I can't say anything else.
And then
It makes me sad that I didn't participate. I could have. I had to choose between my mosaic or that, and
it's glorious. Even now, I just want to stare into its depths. But what I really love,
Stefan's comment. And Stefan's comment in the video that they're not done yet. Like, what? This is going to get bigger? Seriously?
Okay, so if you all want some inside information, Stefan's very local to Atlanta. He lives in he lives in the state over in Alabama. So he'll be coming to Atlanta Brick Con here in February, and we will be doing a reduced but definitely big New Hashima. Stay tuned. I'm not even sure, but I'll be there with my mocks. If I have time to build a few more cubes, I might build a few more cubes. So,
but is his plan to do it bigger at like another Brickworld Chicago? I mean, do you have any insight or anything on that? Like, what's the?
I have no idea. All I know is if he tells me to go build something, I'll go build something. I think the idea is maybe in like 5-10 years to bring it all back and
Yeah,
do it.
I mean,
Sorry.
wow. I talked to Simon Liu, and his thought was maybe the first reunion would be at 10 years. He doesn't see this being a
Yeah,
consistent
that's just,
thing.
I can't imagine
The
trying to
beauty
do
of
that
it,
every
though,
year. That's
It's a lot of work, I mean,
Yeah. It was.
Oh, we got a
It
good
was.
question.
It was 3 days
There's
of
a
building.
good question down here.
Yes. Let me
Yeah,
see.
minifig collector had a question.
that's
Has
a good
anyone ever had their mocks stolen?
Stolen. No.
I think it would be pretty hard. I mean, there's definitely been reports of damage, but from everything that just my couple years of going to conventions now, it's almost impossible to steal anything ish. There's always somebody there. There's security.
I've heard of
I don't know.
minifigs.
I was gonna say if anything's gonna be
Yes.
swiped, it's minifigs.
Yeah,
Or
minifigs
a
get
goat.
swiped. Also, goats. So always put the clone goat in
Yes.
when you display.
Yeah, extremely
We have a lug
valuable
member that has. Yeah.
minifigs.
We
are
have a
at
lug
risk
member
of-
that has one of those goats, and at Brick Fair last year, every time he left, he took it out and then put it back in. Oh, you have one?
No,
Those are
these are Chinese knockoff goats.
Oh, okay.
Dana did a goat order, and we have a ton of really cheap knockoff goats at our house.
But that is.
I mean, I actually worried. The only build I've worried about is when I brought if you saw the monofig frame that I brought, that was next to the art museum, and I did debate a little bit about whether I wanted the plexiglass on the front of that, just because some of those monofigs that I've got are extremely expensive. But and in the festivals I've taken to it so far, you know what? It's been fine and nothing's happened, so I'm comfortable.
I think the only time I saw someone really concerned was friend of the show. Oh my god, I'm having a hard time seeing him. Young guy, worked at Atlanta Brick Co, but was at Atlanta Brick Con with like his chief from Power Miners. Brian, not my Brian.
Brian Rooney.
Brian, yeah, him, and he had the chief, and apparently that chief is like $150. So yeah, he would take that every time he left the hall. He would take his chief, but Brick. Okay, hold on a second. We got some Brick Buddies TV.
Yeah, I think that's supposed to be Brick Fair
Fest.
that got stolen. Oh, Brick
Okay.
Fest.
And he said
okay.
Well, Jeff,
Brick Fest or Brick Fair?
Brick
Well.
Fest in Canada.
Yeah, Brick Fet's in Canada.
Oh, okay, that's not a typo. That's real. Okay.
Is it party? It's French.
Off-camera, Janie probably would know about that too.
I did have one. I had a GBC at Brick Fair, Virginia, when we went in 2018, and it was pushing the balls around. It was all Avengers theme, so Iron Man was pushing the balls around and around, and some kid during public hours, and he probably just was impulsive, but his parents weren't watching him. He leaned into the barricades, and this thing was rotating, and he grabbed it off the rotating platform and like bolted, and his poor parents had to bolt after him, and they were so embarrassed. I'm like, or whatever. It's like a $8 Iron Man. I really don't care. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
So overall, have you guys physically recovered from? Because I posted a video, I just didn't see anybody posting a video about the fact that I'm utterly trashed for a day after that.
Yeah.
I slept for 10 hours when I got back. I got home. I flew back on Monday, got home Monday afternoon. I got all unpacked, ate dinner, started watching TV, but by 9:30 Eastern time, I was out. I usually stay up till like 11:30 or 12. I think I recovered physically pretty quick, but I don't know, starting the last day or so, I've kind of had that kind of event, like real event drop, like kind of the withdrawal. Like usually I get it right after, but Matt, I was chatting with you today about some stuff, and I kind of just needed to bitch to somebody about some things. You and I, because I know you and I have some similar feelings, and it was really bugging me last night as I lay there in bed. And it's just, kind of the mental part of it, I think, has been hitting me pretty hard the last day or so. So that's my story.
I got home and I don't know. I still had energy. I unpacked the car, and then I played hockey on Thursday. And my friend's like, he looks really good for just completing a 3-week road trip. And then last night, I fell asleep on the couch and I slept for 12 hours. So like, it's fine.
I'm sorry, minifig collector. Please take me to town. I am not of the Rock Raiders or Power Miners persuasions. I do think those little creatures are cute, but thank you for keeping me honest.
Yeah.
I had to drive 6 hours to pick up my daughter and to Louisville. She was at Camp Grandpa and was enjoying it, and it was great. And then we drove back to Atlanta, hit a bunch of traffic, so it was a long 2-day drive. But
I did 2 days, and I messaged Kate, who was still on her way back to Oregon, which was a 2,000 mile.
I feel bad for the West Coast people.
Oh,
I complain being in the South, but you have to go over all the mountains, and it's just such a trek. It's such a trek.
Yeah, she was telling me that Wyoming, though, ... Not a section, but the entire state of Wyoming being categorized as like.
Is it like really flat and boring? I'm assuming Wyoming is flat and boring.
It's not Kansas bad.
Yes. Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Every state, in Kansas is by far my least favorite, with South Dakota being number one. South Dakota is like, you hit the Badlands part, it's pretty, which I did not expect. But
we were just mesmerized. If you came up, I think I-65, there's just all those windmills.
Yeah.
And it's so flat in Indiana, and it's just like, I don't know, it feels like you're in some surreal futuristic world that's not New Hashima, where, you know, all of your energy is wind power, because they're so tall, and the visibility was good when we were driving, and you could just see miles and miles of like that the wind turbines, and it was amazing. But from Atlanta to Kentucky, where I go quite often to visit family, it's just hills.
If you drive across West Texas, it's windmill, and I think there's something quite beautiful about them when they're turning. Like I think
it's very zen.
Yes.
There's a whole big chunk. I drove up to Rochester for Brick Universe a few months ago, and there's a whole chunk there in like middle New York that just has hundreds of the windmills amongst the mountains and stuff up there. Like, wow, this is kind of cool. Am I the only one who flew? Moto, where are you located? I'm sorry, I don't know where you're located.
Denver, Colorado. It's nearly exactly 1,000 miles to Schaumburg Convention Center from my home.
I have some friends out there.
So that was definitely a 2-day long 2 days. We had one long member who went straight through. She did like 16 straight, I think, which is not me.
I think
that's
Martin,
just not good. Like,
yeah, I think Martin, aka Brick Snaps, did a full through backtrack to Atlanta or Alabama. And I'm just like, you're a machine, dude. You're a machine when you build.
He could answer it. He was
Martin, did you do a straight through back? I don't think he might have left. Did you go straight through back?
We drove straight through last year on Monday. We stayed the night and then just got up in the morning, did it all the way. The longest I've ever done is 17 hours from Atlanta, Georgia to Key West, Florida. But with an hour and a half to go, I wanted to get out and get a hotel room. I was getting like car claustrophobia. And I'm like, I just need to get out of the car. I can't be in the car. Like, so we got out and like, I had to get out for like half an hour.
Well, you know, I wouldn't have had it in my 20s or 30s, but I'm 50. That's not a thing anymore. It's just my body's not going to.
And what worries me is stories like Dave's, like, you know, with Dave, like, especially if you're by yourself and you're doing these long drives after a con, it's a recipe for trouble. Like, you know, and some of our, you know, one of our lug members, you know, did that. You know, he was there and then he drove the whole 12 hours back to Maryland here. And I'm like, dude, you're asking for an accident. It's just not, I don't know. I mean, I understand people got to get back to work and everything else, but
no, I was definitely smarter in the way I approached it this year. I definitely paid the extra hotel to check out Monday. That was wonderful because the last time when I started right after the convention, all that adrenaline, once it's off, your body just starts to, you guys probably went through that, right? You just start crashing hard.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so get a decent night's rest for once, then start out on the Monday, and don't sweat it. And I get back by Tuesday, 1 or 2 or 3 p.m. and take my time, go nice and slow. And I like the drive because it allows me to reflect on everything that's happened and process it and collect all my thoughts together and have that time to appreciate the dimension before, I come home and it's little me, Mr. Meow is there and it's and wife and the house, and then work starts coming in, and before you know it, you don't have that time to process it all, in my mind.
I had hours of listening to Brian, my husband, who pretty much he did all the technic for my builds, including the toppers, which if I tried to build that, it would have flopped over. I mean, he's my collaborator especially on the toppers. I could not have built them without him. I mean, people say, "Oh, it looks so good." It's a co-build. Him and I co-built it. He built the spine, I built around it. And he's just like, "Oh, I'm going to build my own kind of like," I can't remember the builder who did his own kind of homage to Stefan's mock. I think he's from Wisconsin Lug. And it wasn't a huge one, but he's like, "I'm going to do my own. I'm going to make it." He was talking a lot with one of Jeff's country mates. Who was her name? Who did the Habitat 67 and the World Trade Tower?
Yeah, Natalie.
He was talking a lot with Natalie, and he loves brutalist architecture, and he had started a Habitat 67. He's like, "I'm going to build," like he's looking at all these concept arts from like what the Saudis want to do for like a Habitat 67, but like in the desert. And I'm like, "You go build it, honey." He's all excited. And I'm like, "You go build something other than Technic, love." So he was talking about it for pretty much from Chicago to south of Indianapolis.
There's a comment there I'd kind of like to pounce on. It says, "I'm thinking everyone brought mocks drove." No, I flew.
No.
But I was kind of like, we were lucky that, some of us in our lug drove and some flew. And it's nice to have lug members that will take your stuff. But to that point, I've designed, those of you that saw the art museum, I have designed that with airport, airplane transport in mind, that there's a majority of that can literally fit in a roller bag suitcase if it had to, and I could throw the rest of the structure in my checked luggage. But I've definitely considered that because I do want to take it to other places, and I am not driving to the other coast. Skip, were you the exhibitor at Brickworld Chicago with the binder, Mike? Yes, I had a binder in front of my I had a binder in front of my build. And another fun fact to that, so as I was sitting waiting for my flight back to Baltimore, where I flew in and out of, I just kind of sat on the floor. There was a bunch of people all lined up, and I sit down, and this guy next to me goes, "Were you the guy at Brickworld that had the binder in front of his build?" And I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "That's a great idea. I need to use it." He literally remembered me because I had that stand and binder in front of it. I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." And then we had a nice little chat.
Now you know what your token has to be from now on.
Binder. Binder. Preferably not a binder.
It's got to be a binder. A Lego binder is going to have. You're going to have to use stadium tiles on the edge and all that.
So
I will say there was quite a few people from New Hashima that put the mocks in the carry-on and checked their clothes.
Yeah.
So they got the priors in the right place. You can buy more clothes.
Yeah, they were coming from Germany. They were coming from the UK, and you put what they put in a check bag. It's not a mock anymore when it comes out on the other side. So
it's factory reset.
Yeah,
I would be
question.
wearable
items.
Did you guys notice? I did. I paid attention because obviously I have a wearable, so I kind of look for them.
There was a dress made with gold chains. That was the most notable to my mind.
The flapper gold chain. I think that was Brooke Built Babe who did that.
Yeah, and the flapper dress.
Too. She had a purse on top of it. She accessorized.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure this token is from her because it's the same design. It's got the little chains on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bricklin, this is my first time here. Bricklin, this is my first time here. So yes, I had no idea I was on this podcast either.
We're a loose group. We try to get everyone in, and I'm pretty sure you're probably on Chris's regular list now.
So
I can't
wearables,
say I'm in charge.
I did notice about 7 total. That includes your meows a lot. But the larger scale ones was the chainmail. So Minifig Chick had 2 of them. I always remember the chainmail. The flapper dress, Sir Meows a lot, and the rest were getting down to like Bragos or smaller, much smaller wearables.
What did you call them? Bragos?
Yeah, Sam's, the keynote speaker, Corey Sams. Yeah, he sells lapel pins out of Lego and he calls them Bragos. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are
Oh
technically
yeah,
wearables, right?
He's had those on sale in other festivals before. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
There was also, I think, somebody, and I want to say it was Wisconsin Lug, and I only know this because I spent the last 2 days looking at lugs, various lugs, because I was trying to track down the 2 youth creation winners, and I don't want to list their names, but I found their lugs as their contact. And somebody in Wisconsin Lug, I think, made a skirt out of fabric Lego bags. Like
Yeah, I hung out with her. Yeah.
Yes.
I have
That's
I have a picture of it.
So that
Hold
one
on.
was not on display, but it was on display on her, the whole
On her, yes.
convention. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I missed half the convention because I was building.
Total cosplay winning.
I was
Yeah.
building garbage piles. There you go.
She was right
The
outside.
Erie comic.
She was wearing it, I want to say, either outside the hall for either opening ceremonies or the yard sale. And she walked past me exiting, and I ran out, and I'm like, can I get a picture? And I posted it, and I said, ultimate example of recycling. You know, you take all those paper bags.
I was worried about wardrobe malfunctions because paper, but no, she assured me it's highly crafted and was.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was paper or if it was the actual like reusable bag, but it was the paper.
So that particular piece just brings me back around to one of the things I tell people that you should go to a
fabric.
Yeah, I think it was the reusable bag fabric.
Mhm.
Who knows? I wasn't there. I was building garbage piles.
Yeah.
I think we need to ask Tim Gunn and Heidi Klum what the challenge was on Project Runway.
Exactly.
I can't.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I can't.
I
see
thought
it.
they were paper. When I was standing there in person.
Well, no, it wasn't the paper bags they have in the store. It was those reusable plastic, kind of tougher ones. You know those tougher
Like the
ones.
IKEA bags.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they're like the IKEA type material.
But the thing that I always tell people about Lego conventions is that even if you never build Lego yourself, if you pay the money and go, you will see things that just make you go, what? How did someone like think of that? And then how did they construct it? Like there's the 2, oh my gosh, I never would have imagined in a million years that somebody would make a dress out of Lego chains, you know, or that somebody make a dress out of bags, or, you know, that it just the range of creativity, and then the technical, like how did they pull that off? And if you are an exhibitor, one of the most fun things to do on the pre-public days is to walk around and just talk to people. How did you do that? How did you, or why did you do that? You know, like what made you think to try that? It's inspiring to see the sheer creativity that's out there. And
I've never had the most fun answering how many bricks are in it, except for New Hashima, because we estimated over 4 million. And to see young kids go over 4 million, their minds are just blown. And it was just.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but
I'm glad you gave me the number because I was tired of even trying to estimate, but that sounds right.
That's what they estimated, because the Technic frames have a certain amount of parts and all of the water tiling. So that's like their base, and then they added up from there in the minifigs. So they're estimating north
it's the
of 4 million.
greebling, the detail of greebling on all the small components that were worked in. I'm just like, I'm at a loss.
And seeing kids' faces saying 4 million, and their mind is just, it's blown, and it's adorable, and it's awesome. They're just like, you know, this is what you can do when you get together with a bunch of awesome, slightly nerdy people like you. You can do crazy stuff.
But back to what Matt was sort of kind of touching on, I think, you know, as I've started to go to conventions over the last couple of years and whatnot, I think that's the whole, just the sheer amount of creativity is a bit daunting sometimes too. I mean, I think we all build stuff that we're proud of, and then you go to a convention and go, wow, my stuff sucks. Like you look, you shouldn't do that to yourself, but you look around and you go, how did this person think of this? Why did I never think of this? My God, this is amazing. And then you look at your stuff and you go, ugh, and I don't know if anybody else, I know I went through that several times, not just at Brickworld, but at other places. And you really just have to check yourself and go, no, somebody thinks what I built is amazing. And not follow, because again, especially at these big festivals, there's so much cool stuff,
So Matt knows who I'm talking about when I say Connor Lill. He's also somebody who helped out on New Hashima, and Connor builds fabulous mechs. I mean, I can't make the joints look cool, and like mine would just fall over and go flat like Dana's fail rover. I mean, I just can't do it. And he always messages me with, oh my God, I love how you did the trees. I love how you did this. I love your use of color. And it's just, I feel like the whole community learns so much from each other because you get to see what the mech people are doing. You get to see what castle people are doing. And I couldn't have built the owl house without looking at what castle people are doing. And yes, so it feels like you show off things and you're learning and they're learning. And it's just like this huge mixing pot of techniques, of styles, of all sorts of stuff.
Bad.
And you're also, keep in mind too, you're comparing yourself or your build to other people's peak creativity. And, I mean, if we think each one of us might have like 5 amazing things we're going to do in our life, but those are the things that get taken to shows, right? So, I mean, if you build a lot of mocks, you may leave a few behind. The ones you leave behind are probably not your best ones. So it's like you're comparing yourself to all the like A+ students from the whole country who all happen to go. It's kind of like grad school, really. You get to grad school and you're like, I was the smartest kid in my class, but
I want to address
Well,
Rick Bunny's. Yes, Jeff, your mosaic was like the Instagram hotspot of the event.
He got to hang out with all the influencers, that lucky dog.
Yeah, it was funny because I didn't get many followers during the event, but afterwards, once all the pictures started dropping, I got a lot more. I'm just trying to pull up what my count is now because, woohoo. I got 15 followers over the weekend.
There you go.
So,
you're blowing up.
But yeah, I got like 5 during the show and about 10 afterwards. But
the jumpsuits were for Nicole, Girl Bricks a Lot. She is getting married, I believe, this weekend. So congratulations to her.
Wait, so was that not planned?
I'm sorry?
Was that whole thing with the girls in that dressed up as the astronauts had no connection to the build?
No, it was just they were having fun, and I think they were enjoying life, and they're all friends. Nicole, Jillian, was it Jillian versus Reality?
None of them did that build. I thought one of the builders had then organized a posse of girls to dress up like. Oh wow!
No, they're all builders / Lego influencers. I mean, Jillian's a builder. Emily Bougie Bricks is a builder and a lug. Aubrey, both the Aubreys are builders. Moktora, Aubrey Freeze, Ob the builder. They're both builders. Aubrey Moktora is the leader of Friendshiptober. I'm not gonna say Friendshiptober. They're all AFOLs. They're all AFOL women, and they were kind of having a good time and celebrating Girl Bricks a Lot, and they coordinated. I think it was Emily Bougie Bricks from our lug who actually made them all space tracksuits, and it was adorable. So congratulations to Nicole.
I saw her, and she said that she had been pressing the space logo on them in the hotel room with the iron.
Yes, I think she printed out the vinyl and pressed it. It was adorable. It was adorable.
And then I saw her Saturday or Sunday morning, and she was coming up the escalator. I was getting ready to leave, and she goes, I'm kind of sweaty. I just ran a 5K. And I'm like, why? But Martin organized a 5K.
They did all sorts of crazy stuff. They did goat yoga because of, goat costs so much. They did goat yoga. I mean, I'm too old for that. I love living vicariously through them, but they were doing goat yoga. They were doing the 5K. Entertainingly Lamb, if you want one of those jumpsuits, Emily Bougie Bricks on Instagram. She's also a member of Peach Lug. I'm pretty sure you can find her through the Peach Lug Instagram because we've posted some of her stuff. She could have a whole, making spacesuits side gig now.
I buy that for $1. Ha ha ha.
Me too.
So back to Instagram for 1 second. I'm the Luddite on the show, so maybe everybody else here knows about this, but Dana informed me that if you go to your Instagram account,
let's do this.
You upgrade to professional mode for free, and you can actually see how much something gets shared and how many accounts it reaches. And so, of course, I didn't turn it on until the first day of the convention. But he's like, "Oh no, tap 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 tap. See, now you can see where your pictures go." Because I said people are coming up to me at the Mosaic and saying, "Oh yeah, I saw pictures of this on the internet." I said, "I only shared it one time. I shared one picture." So I was like,
"Oh, you're right. Oh, what is happening?"
All right, I was ahead of Moto on this techie thing, so that's all credit to Dana. But
I think we lost Skip. He's frozen in the internet. No, he's back.
No,
me.
Okay,
but yeah, it's free. You can upgrade, and then you can track where your things get shared back.
I'm still not on there yet. I'm still having this debate of whether I should get on Instagram or not. I sometimes I feel like I'm having FOMO over it, and other times I'm like, I don't need to get dragged into something else. Jeez.
The only reason I think you should is that when I, ask people, AFOLs, which social media platform of choice, Instagram is the most common amongst all of them.
Flickr's still around, but Instagram is the
Flickr refused to go mobile, and they paid for it. I'm telling you, it's just that battle's been lost for a while. But Instagram is very it's more common than anything else. Also with the public, for some reason, the mock cards or the mention trading cards, when I sign those and autograph them, that's where a lot of I can see the numbers trending upwards on Instagram more than any of the other platforms.
I'm still one of those old school folks. So the thought is, I have my own domain. I was an early adopter back in the 90s, and I'm still kind of stuck, digging in my heels going, I pay for this goddamn domain for others. Pardon my language. I pay for this domain. I'm going to put all my pictures here, and that's what's on my card right now. But every festival I go to, I get a little closer to going, okay, everybody just wants to see stuff on Instagram.
So I don't know if this will help on that, but one thing I do not use as my major place for showing whips or my day-to-day life. It's very much why can't I go up? There we go. It's very much the idea that it's a curated portfolio from the profile.
Yeah.
So, yeah, most Instagram is, it's their day to day, but no, I use this as the portfolio, and then I lead them off.
I'm still old, and I hike to school uphill both ways in the snow. So, maybe I'll give in at some point to whippersnappers.
Yeah.
It's not a picture of my mock without at least 2 bubbly cans in there.
With what?
Bubbly fizzy waters. You can go look at my work in progress pictures. And there's always a bubbly can, maybe one in the background pulled over, because it's just maybe I'm building, I gotta show it off.
Tell people that's your cinematography staging, just like Fight Club had a Starbucks in every scene. You're going to have a bubbly in every mock photo somewhere.
It's going to be there. It's going to be there.
A thing. Yeah.
Do we want to wrap it up since we're about 18 minutes over?
Yeah. Whoops.
I hear my daughter upstairs getting crazy.
I was wondering what time this went till. I thought Matt said it went till 9, but we were still talking. So I'm like, okay.
We were still talking. I'm trying to be a good host.
Because it's music. I have a music background. I want that stupid thing.
I'll make you feel bad. I didn't bring my tokens in. I got one of those too. I'm so sorry.
I just took the baby's hand off. It doesn't move.
It's okay.
I
I think I still have the better token.
Oh no, you got
Yeah,
the white.
I didn't get a white brick. So
By
there
the
you
way,
go.
isn't it funny that the white brick is the white whale of the convention? It's kind of
It is.
deserved.
Oh,
You got the white brick.
wow, that's a good analogy. Very good.
Hey,
Someone was thinking.
Entertainingly lame. It's at _pinkwheels_.
She had to make it difficult.
Yeah, I had to make it difficult because there was another one that was pink wheels, but I don't. I'm just like, whatever. Here's what I'm building, people. What do you think? It's usually because I'm sending it to Martin Harris, and I'm like, Martin, you're my account and mock buddy. Tell me how's it going.
You get Martin Harris to vet your work.
Yeah.
I'd have to pay.
Wow.
He would probably. I'd have to pay consulting fee to get Martin's time. You're lucky.
Anywho, well, Chris and the rest of the folks hopefully will be back because I'm terrible at pressing buttons, and thank
You did
goodness
a
I
good
did
job.
not.
No self-deprecation
No,
there. You
applause,
did an
applause,
excellent
applause for the
This was
moderator.
a great show. This was a
So-
great.
So hopefully they'll all be back on Monday for something messy, and we can make fun of Dana and I don't know other people that missed out for not being here and talking about it. And I hope everyone got home from Brickworld safely. And I will what Chris always says: build things cool and be awesome to everyone.
Oh yeah. Bye.